My name is James Blackburn. I live and work in the American Southwest. As a result, I have the good fortune to be able to travel to a variety of beautiful locations. As a professional filmmaker, I document my life through video adventures and I share them with the world. Stay tuned as I travel through the world of movies and the beautiful outdoors. Thanks for watching the James Blackburn Experience. Today's video adventure brings us to my house to begin with. It is here where I will get my gear ready for the Mora Flats backpacking trip in the Pecos wilderness. I look forward to getting out of town and getting back into nature, where the flowers greet me with their magnificent colors. The drive up to the Pecos wilderness is approximately 2 hours from Albuquerque, which is not a big deal for me. The drive isn't that long, and it's very scenic along the way. And of course, like any wilderness areas, the drive there starts on pavement, and it travels through some beautiful places along the way. We saw some deer on our way there, and they were beautiful as always. The drive was scenic and had me wishing I could afford some land up here and have a cabin. What a beautiful dream. More paved road as we drove deeper into the Pecos wilderness area of New Mexico. We passed through Pecos Canyon State Park, and I had one thought. I need to come back here and explore this area more in the near future. Eventually the roads turned to dirt, and we saw some nice cabins that folks use here when it's not winter. Along the way, we saw a small herd of elk. So beautiful. We continued onward before completing our journey to the trailhead. I would recommend a high-clearance 4x4 vehicle for most of the dirt roads in this area. The dirt roads can be rough and sometimes muddy. Approach with caution and care, go slow, and keep the vehicle under control at all times, and you should do all right. Nice aspens up there. So green and lush right now. It's freaking really awesome. There were aspen and pine trees everywhere, and we even saw some horses as we traveled down the dirt road. What a peaceful and beautiful place. The drive to the trailhead is a bit lengthy, but worth the effort completely. Don't give up, we're almost there, and I am a happy camper once again. The weather up here was perfect. Classic New Mexico blue skies, and the temperatures were in the 60s. A great start to what would hopefully be a great backpacking adventure. Before we knew it, there we were at the Santa Fe National Forest Campground. This place was called Iron Gate Campground, and it's not huge, but it's very scenic, and this is where the trailhead to Mora Flats begins. It was later in the day, and we would camp here tonight before beginning our backpacking journey the next morning. All right, folks, we made it up to the Iron Gate Campground in the Pecos Wilderness. Thank you, Dave, for driving up. That's Dave's truck there. He's backed in. Now, we will be camping here for the night because it's a little too late in the day for us to start our hike into the backcountry. But it's a cool little spot.
See, there's a picnic table and fire pit. Down there where Dave is at, there's a little bathroom as well, which is kind of cool. And we're gonna camp here for tonight, and then tomorrow morning pack up and head down the trail into the true wilderness. So probably gonna hang up a hammock back here somewhere and just have a fun little evening here. Maybe we'll even get a campfire going here. I mean, why not? Got a good pit here. There's no fire restrictions right now, so we're gonna go for it. Awesome. All right, as you can see, sun's about 15 minutes from going behind the mountains over there. So Dave and I are over here in camp, and we are gathering firewood. As you can see right here, we got a pile started here and back here. And this place has a lot of good quality firewood everywhere. So we're just wandering around and gathering it. And here in a little bit, we will have a campfire going. And I'm also going to set up my hammock, so stay tuned for that, because that's going to be exciting. All right, folks, we've been here for about an hour or so now. Dave got a nice fire going. Sun has set behind the horizon, and what should have been a 15-minute job turned into about an hour for me to figure out how to hang this hammock again. It's been a while since I hung this thing up. I got the hammock part up pretty quick, but the rain fly was confusing me. But it's all good now. I'm gonna get my sleeping materials in here in just a minute. There you go. It is my East Hills Outdoors Skyloft hammock setup. We'll be using it tonight exclusively, and the rest of the trip I will be going into a tent. But here you go. Let's go inside and take a look. So I get to sleep in here tonight. It's gonna be awesome. Yes, yes, yes. All right, I got everything in here so I can sleep comfortably tonight. You can see bedding. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes.
Time for a good old-fashioned campfire experience. For me, the campfire is an essential part of the camping experience. It brings warmth and light to your camp, and it entertains by being caveman television, as my good friend Roger calls it. I enjoy the camaraderie and the conversations here. It's a great place for family and friends to gather and bond. It's like a living room in the great outdoors, but it also doubles as a kitchen and a dining room. We gather here to bond and to eat, two good things to be a part of, and that I personally enjoy. I am truly fortunate to be able to have experiences like this. This had been a great start to our Pecos wilderness adventure. This first camp was pleasant and peaceful. I knew I'd get some good sleep here tonight, even as I spent time around the campfire. I could feel the relaxification of my brain face starting to get to a better level. I breathed a sigh of relief as I felt civilization being left behind for a few days. Nature is indeed good medicine. Night got darker and darker, as it does. The skies were clear. The Milky Way will be as bright as you've ever seen it. If you don't leave here a happier person, then stay another night or two. I felt like a happy camper the entire time I was there, and left in a great mood, feeling completely relaxed and ready for another round of the concrete jungle back in the cities. I finally got into my sleeping bag and hammock. It was time to get some quality sleep in the great outdoors. I drifted off to slumber as the frogs, crickets, and birds sang a lullaby. Good night, folks. See you tomorrow.
You can see bedding and farts. Yes, yes, yes.
Located above 9,000 feet, Iron Gate Campground is an excellent spot to access the Pecos Wilderness for day hiking, backpacking, and horseback riding. This campground features 14 individual sites.
All right, good howdy, folks. Welcome back to another James Blackburn experience. It's day 2 up here in the Pecos. We stayed here in the campground last night. I slept in this here hammock. Now, I did have the rain fly over it just in case the rain came down last night. It did not. As you can see, it's pretty blue skies even right now, which is really nice. And we are kind of starting to prep some stuff for breakfast. And then we're going to break down all the gear and get on the trail here in just a little bit. So stay tuned. Good times are about to happen. All right, got some deer this morning, which is always nice. See some critters coming out. One over here as well. Oh, 2 of them. There's 3 total, at least that I can see. And they see me, of course. They know I'm here. It's okay, guys. I'm not going to hurt you. So peaceful. Oh, there's another deer coming out of the woods there, too. So confirmed at least 4 of them. Probably a mule deer. You know, there's something about seeing wildlife when you're out in the wilderness like this that just kind of seals the whole deal. Makes it feel like you're legitimately here and you're in the wildlife. I wonder what scared them off. They're taking off into the woods. It wasn't me. There they go. Back up there somewhere. All right, folks. We are breaking down Camp 1 here. We're almost done. And I believe the deer we saw earlier probably came back to visit us again. How cool is that? Okay, they're not actually visiting us, but they're eating the grass nearby. There they are. Beautimous. Oh, you can see the losing the winter coats still. Especially that one on the right. It's losing the winter coat big time. Sun's coming out. It's a beautiful day so far. Birds are singing. It's not hot out yet. It's a good day to get out and backpack. So, howdy folks. Thanks for tuning in. Kind of see Dave's truck up there in the shade. That was our campsite last night. It was a good spot to sleep for the night. And now we're going to backpack into the backcountry and see where that brings us. Beautiful day at Pecos Wilderness, heading down the Mora Flats in just a little bit. Thank you, campsite. You served us well. We're almost packed up and ready to head out. A little bit of stuff left to go in the backpack, but that's pretty much almost there. Almost. we go, over to the trailhead. All right, and so the journey will begin here in just a few minutes.
The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. So we threw on our backpacks and we were on our way. A GPS and a map along with good navigation skills are strongly recommended. This area can be extremely hot during spring, summer, and fall, so carry plenty of water and wear appropriate clothing. It is also advisable to bring some snacks with you while hiking here, and don't forget to bring a first aid kit just in case. One last thought. No amount of gear is guaranteed to make a hike 100% safe. Only good judgment and experience can help with that. So enjoy, be safe, take only photographs, and leave only footprints.
All right, journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And we're about 10 or 15 steps into it. It's going to be an awesome day.
It's dry in the summer and cold in the winter, and it boasts more natural beauty than you could lay eyes on in a month of backpacking. Be prepared, plan ahead, and prepare for your visit. Let someone know of your plans and consider the weather.
All right, first quarter mile done. We are heading to the left toward Hamilton Mesa, and Mora Flats is back there somewhere too.
The early morning air felt good as we traversed the landscape together. The rhythm of our boots on the trail was feeling unrestricted and free. Backpacking is similar to life. The best rewards come from honest hard work. Sometimes the amount of work ahead of us seems overwhelming. So just think about that next step, that next section of forest, that next stream crossing. Take one step at a time, and before you know it, there you are. Remember that life is a journey, not a destination. True beauty comes from within, and life is whatever you make it. I had to stop again and take more photos. I couldn't stop smiling as I did. I was smiling so much that my face was starting to hurt. The trees here were intense and beautiful. The blue skies seemed more blue than usual, and I was feeling the energy of this place like a spiritual connection, and I felt fortunate to be here. The landscape felt so alive and full of intense colors. It had me wishing I was an artistic painter. We continued onward into the unknown. I knew I was fortunate to be here, and I was not going to take any of this for granted. I wanted to take it all in. I wanted to be a part of it all. I could hear the rocks, the trees, the wind, and the sky talking to me. And they were all saying the same thing. Respect us, and you are welcome here anytime. Respect I did, and I felt truly thankful to be welcomed here.
All right, folks, we're just a little over a mile in. Everything's feeling good. We are now heading down the trail, literally in elevation, to the Mora Flats. We're still a couple miles or so from there, but it's feeling good to be out here. Birds were singing and skies are pretty clear. Temperatures are perfect. I just can't ask for more. This is absolutely awesome.
Check out this 7.3 mile out and back trail near Santa Fe, New Mexico. Generally considered a moderately challenging route, it takes an average of 3 hours to complete. The trail is great for backpacking, camping, horseback riding, and fishing. and it's unlikely you'll encounter many other people while exploring.
Yeah, you can hear that river down there. Sounds like it's flowing pretty good.
The best times to visit this trail are June through October. Dogs are welcome and may be off leash in some areas. Great backpacking with awesome views.
Beautiful.
The trail is pretty moderate and well marked. Once you drop into the valley, there are plenty of backcountry campsites to find.
Oh man, it is super green up here right now. New Mexico's got a lot of moisture this year and it's showing. Look at this place. Just had a close encounter with a hummingbird. Flew up right in my face and then it went to those flowers down there. That was kind of neat. And continuing the journey down the trail, not just down the trail, but literally changing elevation going down. We are getting closer and closer to the bottom, and we will be seeing the river here in just a little bit. So that ought to be pretty outstanding and most excellent. All right, folks, we've been out here about an hour or so, hiking pretty steadily. It's kind of a good practice to stop, about once an hour, take yourself a break, take the pack off, sit down, have some water, snacks, whatever you need, and just rest for a few minutes. That's what we're going to do right now. Thank you, Dave. Thanks for sharing this place with me. It's definitely outstanding. I can imagine too. And the one thing I notice about the going down parts is they're short and then there's level again. So when we go out, when we hit the going up, it's short little burst. It's not going up the entire time, which is nice because it'll give you a little break here and there. All right, folks, that was a great little break we had there. We got fueled up and we're about ready to head back down this trail, so come on.
Warning: hiking and outdoor related sports can be dangerous. Be responsible and prepare for the trip. Study the area you are entering and plan accordingly. Dress for the current and unexpected weather changes. Take plenty of water and never go alone, usually. Sometimes it's nice to have a little solo, but you need to be experienced and comfortable with that. Otherwise, hike with a partner or several. Make an itinerary with your plans, routes, destinations, and expected return time. Give your itinerary to trusted family members and or friends. Remember, plan the hike, hike the plan.
For a while we could hear the river down below, but we lost the sound of that. But right up here, there's water running. Check that out. Probably a natural spring here, coming down from the hillside. Crystal clear mountain water there. That's pretty outstanding. Look at that. There it is. Water coming out of the earth. How awesome is that? Lots of water and mud here. Gonna have to be careful that I don't get too sunk into that. But yeah, awesome. Right, that didn't go so well, as you can see. One boot went in and one went in a little bit. Good times. Beautiful.
There was a fire here in 2022, and some of the forest was severely burnt. But don't let this stop you from visiting here. This area is already starting to repair itself and life is slowly returning. Plus, not everything was burnt. There is still plenty of plant and wildlife here, and it's getting stronger every day. Don't get me wrong, the fire saddens me, but at the same time, there's a strange beauty out here amongst the burnt trees. It's like seeing life starting over again and beginning brand new.
There was a big fire came through here a few years back. The land is still recovering and healing. Wow. As you can see on both sides of the mountain here, on both sides of the canyon, I mean, there's a substantial burn scar here. But nice thing is, you can see there's a lot of greenery on the ground. So nature is slowly reclaiming this space and turning it into another forest eventually. So don't get depressed when you see a fire like this. Yeah, it's not good and you don't want to see the forest burn, but eventually nature will turn this back into nature again, and it will be a nature minus burn. But for now, definitely a big old burn scar. This is the third natural spring I've seen coming down the mountain since we started this trail. It's really cool to see all this water here, crystal clear, going right across the trail. But also the sound of it is outstanding. Let me back out a little bit there. All right, spring number 4 coming out from under those trees right there, under the roots there, heading down this way. Neat. Whoever said New Mexico's all desert has obviously never been here, because this is certainly not desert. All right, folks, we're quarter mile, half mile maybe from the bottom. We're still in the burn area, obviously, but that's going to change here in a few minutes. And we're almost 3 miles in from the trailhead. Not quite yet, but getting close. And the breeze is picking up, but it feels really nice. It's a cool breeze. That probably means there's rain somewhere coming not too long. But we'll be down in camp here in a little while, and we'll be set up and ready to go before that gets here, hopefully. We're heading down into that area. We'll be there soon. Okay, I believe this is natural spring number 5 coming down the trail here. Wow, that's party. All right, folks, getting closer to the bottom, back to an area where the forest is still alive and not burned, which is nice. And look at this. Natural spring number 7. Wow. So awesome. All right, folks. This last section of the trail is mostly going down, which is fine, but I'm thinking about Sunday morning already. When I have to hike up all this, that's going to be painful. But it's only Friday. It's not even 11 o'clock in the morning yet. I don't have to worry about that for another 48 hours. So yeah, I'm sitting here on a rock taking a little break. And I'm going to continue down. I can hear the river from here, so I know I'm not far. Once we get to the bottom, Dave and I agreed to take the packs off, take a little break, and then repack up here in a little bit after the break and go find ourselves a nice campsite before the rain comes in. So yeah, and you can tell where I'm sitting here taking a little break right now, it's green again. The forest is healthy here, it's not burned. All right, there's the bottom. I made it. That last mile was a little rough for me. A lot of going up and down, but we're here. We did it. Dave's down here somewhere. I'll find him here in a minute. And we're gonna have ourselves a little proper breakage. I hear the water, but I don't see it yet. But I do see Dave's pack over there in the woods, so we are in our proper break area. There's some signage up here. Let's go see what it says. All right. Beautiful.
We continue down the path into freedom and beauty. Thankfully, I was able to track our progress so we could see exactly how many miles we traveled each day. On this day, we ended up hiking just over 4 miles.
We're the first ones in the wilderness today down here. All right, so this is one of the first campsites that you come to after the 3.5 mile hike down to the Mora flats. And it's pretty well set up. You can see there's sitting logs and big old fire pit there. And then just over this grassy ridge here is where the creek is at. We're gonna go take a look at that in just a second.
You can find campsites to put up a tent above the creek, but the bottom 20 to 30 feet make for dangerous territory during the summer monsoons. The land is just as wild and rugged today as it ever was. BLM wilderness area restrictions mean that you won't hear automobiles and that no bikes are allowed on the trails, and that all camping is primitive. There are no established sites or facilities here. It's open all year, but be cautious during monsoon season, roughly the 4th of July through the middle of September.
Boy, it feels good to take that thing off. It's about 40 pounds of stuff in there and on there. But let's go and take a look at this here creek. Or a river. They call it a Mora River, I think. It's flowing pretty good. All right. Awesome. That water felt great, and it's cold. Not just cold, but cold. I was thinking about stripping down the pair of swim trunks and getting in there at some point this weekend, but I don't know. Full body submersion in that stuff is going to be cold. All right, I'm taking a break. Water good. So awesome to see all this greenery down here. Just a healthy forest, getting enough moisture, and I get the honor of staying here for 48 hours. That is blowing my mind how awesome this is and how cool it is, and I'm just thankful and I'm fortunate. And thanks to Dave for bringing me here. He knew all about this spot, and he's been here before, so I appreciate your help, man. Okay, I'm wandering up behind that campsite that we found down there. Dave and I decided to look around and see if there's any other nice sites up here that are maybe a little further from the trail. So far, no. But never give up, never surrender. Can't get through there. It's really overgrown up here. It's hard to even hike through this. That's pretty. Pretty view of the river. You know, it's weird to think that when we set out this morning from the parking lot at the trailhead there was nobody else down here. And as far as we know, we're the only ones here at the moment, which is really kind of cool. But yeah, wilderness this big, and we're the only two here. It's awesome. At least we're the only two here for now. There were two other backpackers getting ready in the parking lot when we left, so they might be passing by here pretty soon. And it is a holiday weekend, so we might see some more folks down here over the weekend as well. And I was right, this is a trail. Pretty sure there's gotta be some camping spots up in here. It might be pretty good. Ooh, there's a fire ring right here, looks like. That's helpful. couple sitting rocks. Water's not too far away, but far enough away to be legal to have a campfire here. This isn't too bad. I think the spot down below is a little better though. Alright, let's keep exploring, see what else we find. Another campfire ring, although this one's all broken up, hasn't been used in a while. There's some good tent spots around here though. But once again, I think it's a little too close to the trail. But I do like this view back here. That's pretty outstanding. Even with the burned stuff on the top. There you go. Beautiful. Alright, I'm not so sure if any of this is going to work out up here or not. That first site is really sweet. It's got big sitting logs. It's in the shade. It's close to water, so we can filter water when we need it. I mean, these sites up here are also close to water. It's right there. But I just not liking the sites as much. They're just, I didn't bring my camp chair, and Dave did not either. So we're gonna have to drag logs in to sit on, or stones or something, or sit on the ground. And there's nothing wrong with any of that, but when you've been hiking all day, well, not all day, but for a few hours, and you're tired, you want some comfort when you get to camp. So I'm gonna go back down the river here and go report to Dave what I found, and let him know that it might be best if we stay at that first campsite. Make that our base camp for now, and then we can explore the rest of the canyon here as day hikes. You know, not have to wear the big packs for the rest of it until we leave on Sunday, that is. Yeah, we need to set up camp soon because those are thunderclouds building up, and they're all around us. So it's only a matter of time before it rains. The forecast said 80% chance, so we want to get our camp set up here soon, have our tents in place in case we need to shelter up, you know, and be inside our tents if it rains hard. So yeah, I'm going back down this way, see if I can find the first camp we were in, and then take a break and get the tent set up soon. Let's check that out. Mushroom of some kind. Neat. Boy, it must have been a lot of water coming through here to pile all that stuff up. Wow. It might have been one of those flash floods that you hear about that happen with the when there's a burn area. You know, there's nothing to get the water to soak in. It just runs down the side of the mountain, and it's massive flash flood sometimes. So yeah, I think I'm gonna set up here. Let's go find Dave though first. All right, folks. After exploring the area a little further, as you just saw in my previous video, I went up that way about a half mile. I found a couple more camp spots, but they weren't as good as this, so we're going to stay here. Here's my pack and my gear. I'm going to start unloading here and getting a shelter set up in case we get some rain this afternoon. And then stay tuned, because the most exciting thing that's ever happened in the entire history of the universe will happen after shelter setup. You want to know what it is? I'm going to make some soup for lunch. Yep, it's going to be awesome. So stay tuned for all that awesomeness. All right, here comes Dave. Dave is here, man. So, yeah, this is going to be home for the next couple of days right here. All right, folks. The Garmin device here allows me to message my loved ones and let them know I'm okay. So we've been tracking today's hike, and I haven't turned off the tracking yet because we weren't sure if this is where we were going to stop. But now that we are, I can go up here to the tracking button. Oops. Tracking. There we go. And I can go down and stop. But you know, before I do that, I'd like to go in and add a waypoint. So right here I can do a new waypoint, and I can name it. As you can see, Iron Gate Campground. It was waypointed yesterday, and all that stuff below that is other stuff I've done in the past. So we're going to mark a new waypoint here, and we're going to stop tracking our hike because we're done hiking for finding a camp at least today. We'll do some day hiking here in a little bit. So yeah, awesome, righteous, and cool. All right, I'm going to be honest with you folks. That hike in was a little tough for me. Got through it though. Just took my time and made sure I was sure-footed. You don't want a twisted ankle out here. But the one thing I'm noticing sitting here in the shade in the short sleeve shirt is the breeze is cool up here. It's probably in the 50s, maybe 60ish right now. But when that breeze gets going, you feel the temperature change. And I'm gonna have to put on a long sleeve shirt here in a minute because it is getting chilly outside and might rain in a little while. All right, folks, this is showing you a compass on my Garmin here. Also the elevation, 9,196 feet. And the total trip distance, 4.8 miles. Now, I think to get to this camp that we're at now, it's not 4.8 miles to get here. It's less than that. But I actually hiked that much because I had to backtrack to get the camera when I was filming shots of us hiking. So I did almost 5 miles today so far. I'm feeling it, but not necessarily in a bad way. I'm just tired.
There is no cell phone service within the canyon, although I had no problem connecting with loved ones with my Garmin GPS unit. Please leave no trace of your visit so others can enjoy this beautiful place too.
All right, backpack is pretty much unloaded for the most part. There's a few clothing items in there still. Backpack and my magic vest are here together. Magic vest has not been unloaded. There's still a lot in there. But everything that was in the backpack is over here now. And believe it or not, that all fits in there. So I'm going to set up shelters now and then get some lunch after that. We got our tents up. Bedding goes in next. Beautiful place to camp for a couple days. And I put up my hammock tarp so we have a place to sit underneath that we can stay outside in case it rains later. So I put it up over that log there so we can sit there and relax if it rains.
This campsite was amazing, and I couldn't stop smiling. The weather was perfect, so was this spot.
All right, all set up, ready for some shelter and some sleep later. That was exhausting. Almost 5 miles of hiking, followed by setup and just getting everything ready in case it rains this afternoon. But yeah, awesome. Here in a few more minutes I'm going to get up and go gather some firewood. Dave's already out gathering it and I need to help out. I need to contribute to that, so that's going to happen here in just a minute. Alright, Dave's over there somewhere putting together a huge pile of firewood, so I'm going to walk over there and see if I can grab a couple armloads of whatever he's gathered just to start bringing some of it back. You know, the thing is with the campfire is you want to make sure you have enough wood for the night, because, and possibly the morning, and since we're going to be here 2 nights and 2 mornings, we might need double the wood. So I'm gonna head up here and see what's going on.
I decided it was time for me to contribute to our firewood stash. I wandered around the forest near our camp and gathered a lot of firewood. As I did this, I felt more and more connected with this amazing place.
It's a beautiful meadow here, not far from our camp. We hiked down that ridge there. But just as I said, Dave's gathering firewood, so I'm going to start carrying some of this back. Alright, I'm going to grab this handful here, and then I'll come back for some more in just a minute.
This campsite was amazing, and I couldn't stop smiling. The weather was perfect, so was this spot.
That's some hard work, man. We're at a high elevation. I'm panting away here, breathing. Alright folks, after getting here, setting up camp, taking some time to relax, and then gather firewood, I'm taking a lunch break finally. So what I have here is my trusty stove, and you can see the flames going in there pretty good. We're boiling some water because I'm going to make some soup for lunch. That's going to be great. This is what I'm having right here. Lipton Soup Secrets. All this is noodle soup. There's nothing else in it, but it's really appetizing. Makes 4 cups. That's lots of liquid, and it's really tasty. So, what do you say we get into it? You know, I'm always amazed how quickly water will boil with these little stoves here. It's not boiling yet, but it usually only takes a few minutes, and we're up at like 9,500 feet of elevation, so that should make it take a little longer, but it'll be ready here soon, and I'll be able to dump the soup in, stir it up, and then boil it for 3 to 5 minutes. Alright folks, got my soup all made up. Noodle soup there. That's going to be good. And there's a bunch left, so if Dave wants some for lunch, he's welcome to it. So I'll ask him here in a minute when I see him. My cousin Samantha gave me this mug a few years back, and it's mostly just been for hot chocolate. But today, it's for noodle soup, so I'll have to wash it out later if I'm going to make some hot chocolate this evening around the campfire. That's okay. It's all part of the fun experience. That is some tasty soup right there. All right, folks, that took me a little hour-and-a-half nap in the tent. That felt really good. Now I'm up stretching my legs, waking up, and I'm going to filter some water here in a few minutes because I'm down to my last bottle. And this river is looking pretty awesome. So I'm going to get my filter and I'm going to get started.
I enjoyed wandering through the forest like this, and I have ever since I was a kid. Nothing will keep me away from the wilderness. I was about to get all my drinking water from a natural source, and I was ready for a nice cold drink. As I continued my short hike to the water, I was feeling the beauty of this area take over my wild spirit. I felt the animal within start to awaken. This was an amazing place, and I felt incredibly thankful to be here.
Looks like you got her going. I appreciate that. All right, folks, it's about 6 p.m. on Friday. It's been a lovely day so far. The hike in, the finding of the camp, the setting up of camp, having lunch up here, and filtering water. It's all part of the awesome experience that we're having. But you can really see how the light is layered now and how the shadows are long because the sun is getting closer to the horizon. But I'm loving it. This is just such an outstandingly awesome spot. And we're going to do dinner here in a few minutes and just relax around the campfire for a while. It's going to be great. So the river is right there. And over here is our campsite. As far as base camp is concerned, I just showed you over here to the left. That's where our tents are at. But right here, campfire area. Really nice fire pit. Dave got the wet wood going and he's cooking some steak in there. And I'm reheating my soup from lunch earlier, and that's going to be my dinner for tonight. All right, folks, it's that time. Dinner time. I'm going to finish off this soup from earlier. That's really good. Dave actually brought some steak, though. Check this out. He cooked it in a foil pack on the fire on the hot coals, and looks and smells amazing. Good job, man.
Mushrooms, bell pepper, onions.
Nice. All right, there you go. Just because you're backpacking doesn't mean you still can't have some comforts. We paid the price today coming in because we were carrying extra weight, but I'm happy that we're here and then we all got some good food. Yes, yes, yes. Appreciate that. I tell you, I had regular Dave's getting our bear bag tie-up ready to go.
Alright folks, as a lot of you know, I'm not a heavy drinker. I hardly have any alcohol at all in my life. But my friend, Matt the Southwest Backpacker, turned me onto this cool tequila tradition in the backcountry. So Dave's already had his, and I'm going in now. And Nostrovia. To all my friends, all my family, both living and not living, I salute you.
The wood is really saturated up here with moisture because it's been raining so much. So we're drying out logs here in the back while we got a fire going here. I'm going to apply some air to this. Here we go. Awesome. Yeah, you can definitely see the moisture in there still.
I go through life every day as if it's going to be my last, because one day it will be. My feelings are to celebrate life while we have it. Life itself is beautiful and wonderful.
All right, I'm just on a little after dinner evening walkabout, just exploring the area nearby. You can see This tree burned from the inside because the outer parts of it look normal. I bet this was struck by lightning and it just smoldered and burned, and thankfully it did not spread. There wasn't enough trees nearby, I guess, but yeah, you can tell there was fire inside that tree at one point. Kind of neat. Haven't explored down here yet, so this is kind of neat. Earlier today, Dave was over here getting some firewood ready, and he found a fawn. Kind of scared it a bit. The thing got up and ran off. I didn't get the chance to see it, but it's always nice to see a fawn because deers are beautiful, but when they're young like that, they have the spots. Something really special about being able to witness something like that. So maybe one day I'll be out here and I will see the same thing. I did see a fawn once years ago when I still lived in Illinois at a state park. Look at this. Another burn here, and then you can tell like the whole tree burned up between here and here because there's a burn scar, but there's almost no wood left. That is trippy. And then it burned up these trees a little bit. Wow. Trippy, weird, and awesome. And purty too. I didn't check down here earlier to see if there were any acceptable camp spots. There might be. I went north. This is kind of heading south. And I found a couple spots up there, but they weren't as good as the one we were in. So I'm curious if there's anything down here. Not seeing anything yet, but you never know. You never know. I don't know why I had to repeat that. All right, check this out. That's really pretty up there. We were hiking up in that earlier, coming down here. Neat. Now that's what I'm talking about.com. Alright, I better head back to camp. It's starting to get dark. We still got a little ways to go before true darkness gets here, but I'm just grateful and thankful to be here. This is such a beautiful place. Can't ask for much more on perfection than being in the wilderness like this for a few days with a good friend. The trail runs right up about the middle of that thing. I bet it goes back up to where we were hiking earlier. We didn't come down on this trail, I don't believe. Maybe we did, and maybe it went to the right. I'm not sure. I'm still learning this place. Here's an interesting little spot. This water's not moving. It's just sitting here stagnant, almost like a swamp. There's a lot of it through there, as you can see. And this little section of the forest is also kind of creepy, like something out of a horror movie. This is some hardcore bushwhacking here, trying to get through this stuff. You can tell it's still late spring here because some of the leaves haven't even come out all the way yet. Anyway, these leaves they're there, but they haven't opened yet, so late spring going into early summer. In a high elevation like this, everything kind of blooms and a little later in the season than it would at a lower elevation.
Earlier in the day after we arrived at camp, we discovered some bear scat. Because of this, later on, Dave tied our food up in a tree with a bell attached as a warning device. We could sleep better knowing our food was safe for the night. Thanks, Dave. A little while later, the sun had set and darkness had taken over the landscape. We gathered around the campfire for added warmth as the temperature started to drop. We had good conversations about past backpacking adventures. We continued to enjoy the evening campfire together, and not just as friends, but as family. This group's got each other's backs. We prefer to lift each other up and not tear each other down. I always feel safe when I camp with these guys, and look forward to many more adventures together in the near future. As the evening came to a close, we enjoyed some nice conversation around the campfire. We'd all relax here for a while longer before getting some sleep. This had been another amazing day. Here I was having a peaceful moment, and not a city anywhere nearby. This was truly amazing, and I realized it even as I relaxed by the campfire. My brain face had a smile on it, and I was a very happy camper.
Man, those clouds are really moving fast up there. This isn't even time lapse, that's real time right there. They are cooking across the sky. Neat. I'm serious, those clouds are really moving fast. I mean, it looks like I've sped it up and I haven't. That is cool. Alright, so Dave's over in his tent. I'm heading over to mine here in a few minutes. Been a great day. Very enjoyable, very beautiful. Alright folks, it's about 10 o'clock at night. I'm in the tent, as you can see behind me here. And I'm gonna crash out. Dave's already in his tent. He'll be sleeping here shortly as well. And I'm gonna sign off here, but stay tuned because there'll be a whole brand new video tomorrow. We're gonna be out here the entire day and night, again on Saturday. And it should be an adventure. We're gonna day hike up the canyon. Signing off here, as usual, love, love, hate, hate. Take care of each other. Blooper. 3, 2, 1. Cable.com. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh, ah. That's what I'm talking about.com. Yeah. Boom ba boom ba boom ba. Boom ba boom ba boom ba. Yeah, there you go. .com poopity pants. Chaka-ba-ba. Here we go. .com. All right, that was hot. It needs a few minutes to cool off. Whoa. Wow. Sugar boggle beam bump quad tire. All right, folks. I'm not a drinker, so even when I do shots, I can mess it up. Like I just did a minute ago. I put that shot in, hit the back of my throat, caused me to choke there for a second, and cough. A little bit embarrassing, but hey, it's all part of life. It's just the way it is. I don't know why I had to repeat that. I don't know why I had to repeat that. I don't know why I had to repeat that. I don't know why I had to repeat that. I don't know why I had to repeat that.
Here I was having a peaceful moment, and not a city anywhere nearby. This was truly amazing, and I realized it even as I relaxed by the campfire. My brain face had a smile on it, and I was a very happy camper.
Good howdy, folks. Welcome back to another James Blackburn experience. After my little fun time this morning around the campfire, I spent about an hour out here from 5 to 6 a.m. It was great. I guess I was hoping to maybe see an elk or a fawn go by, something, get some video from wildlife. That did not happen, but that's okay. I got to spend an hour around a campfire in the woods. You can't go wrong with that. And now it's time to get some breakfast going. So today is Mountain House biscuits and gravy. We're gonna get some water boiling, get this stuff rehydrated, and we're gonna have ourselves a nice, yummy meal. So stay tuned. All right, nothing like a nice warm campfire and some breakfast. Got the bag down there. Here in a few minutes, this will have the boiling water put in there, and it'll be sealed for about 10 minutes. And we got the water starting to boil here. Well, hasn't got to the boiling point yet, but it will here in a few minutes. And then we're gonna chow with this beautiful view. Whoa, steamy. But yeah, the water's officially boiling. Time to make breakfast. Okay, so give it a good stirring. Make sure any pockets of powder or biscuits or anything down on the bottom gets that hot water in there for sure. Okay, there we go. Now the resealing. Now we wait 5 minutes, stir again, reseal, let stand an additional 4 minutes, stir and enjoy right out of the pouch. These are good until October 25th. We got ourselves a Mountain House biscuits and gravy breakfast. Okay, time for the second stirring. Man, that smells good. I love me some biscuits and gravy. Reseal it and give it another 4 minutes. Now, I typically give it a couple more minutes than they recommend. Not because it needs it really, but the water is boiling, needs time to cool off a little bit. And you give it another minute or two, you let the biscuits and everything kind of rehydrate a little bit better. So here you can see some other Mountain House stuff I brought with me. I was going to eat one of these last night, but I just ended up finishing my soup. So tonight I might do chicken with dumplings or lasagna with meat sauce. And then tomorrow morning I have scrambled eggs with bacon. So yeah, I love Mountain House. I think the food's good. It's easy to hike this stuff back because it's lightweight, because it's dehydrated, and it's filling. There's lots of food there. Okay, folks, while the food was rehydrating, I got on my Garmin device here, and I sent out a good morning message to everybody, to all my loved ones, to let them know we had a good night of camping. Got a little rain last night. About 1 a.m. to 1:30 it rained, and got a little chilly, down in the 40s, and now the sun is out and it's a beautiful day. So this Garmin device is worth its weight in gold because you can communicate with your loved ones and let them know that you're okay. Because sometimes they're curious when you're out here. You know, this is a hardcore sort of thing. So okay, now it's time for this. Let's get it stirred one more time. There you go. That is biscuits and gravy rehydrated. I've had this one before. I really like it. It's tasty and it's filling. So let's get into it. So Dave's splitting all the wood because it is soaked on the inside. There's been enough snow up here over the winter and enough rain in the spring that the wood looks dry on the outside, but it isn't. And what he's doing with it is he's putting it next to this big rock in the campfire, standing it up there, and while we have a fire, it's drying out the wood for us. So much appreciated, Dave. That's freaking awesome. All right, folks. It's that time of day where I have to wander off in the woods and as far away from that water as I can possibly get. And time to perform some restroom duties. Now, I don't really want to go into too much detail, but all of us know we have to go to the bathroom every day. And out here, you get as far away from the water as you can, you dig yourself a nice hole, and you take care of business. So I'm wandering around right now trying to find that sacred spot for myself. And then I'll head back to camp. In a little bit, after I get back to camp, Dave and I are going to go on a day hike and explore up the canyon a little further. So stay tuned for that. All right, folks, as I'm wandering through the woods here, I came across another nice campsite here. Check this out. A couple sitting logs, nice big fire pit. Dave told me he found this one yesterday, and we chose not to do this one because right over here is some stagnant water that smells bad. It smells kind of sulfury. And there's potential for mosquitoes even in New Mexico where there's stagnant water. So we chose not to get this site, but a nice site though, it really is. All right, folks, I'm a little out of breath. I just climbed up from down there by the river
up the side of the mountain. Now I'm real particular about where I do my morning duties, and I like it to be private. I like to make sure I can restore the environment to the way it was I found it, so nobody else has a surprise later. So I think up in here somewhere we may just find a spot. So yeah, that's good. Okay, the morning duties are done and over with. Now, only reason why I bring this up, because I know it's a gross subject matter to have to go to the bathroom, but in the wilderness it's different. There's no bathrooms out here. You have to create one, you have to find one. And the most natural way for a human being to go number two is in the squat position. But unfortunately, a lot of us, as we get older, being in that squat position is not an option, or at least not for very long. So behind me, you can see there's a tree there. Now you can use a tree that's about the right height for you to sit and dangle your butt over the other side to do your duties. Just make sure you dig a deep hole, bury it, and make it obvious that no one's ever been here. Don't leave your stuff behind, in other words. So yeah, so that's done for the day. Now I'm gonna head back down here in just a little bit to camp, and Dave and I are gonna do our day hike, so stay tuned.com. All right, that was a good sit down, relax moment. Now it's time to head back to camp and get geared up for our day hike. We're gonna go up river, I think, and explore what's further up and see if we can find any other campsites for the future. All right, time to journey back to camp and get ready for the day hike. I'm excited to see what else is up the canyon. You know, we've already found 4 pretty good campsites out here in a very small area, so maybe there's a few more up the river. And it's just fun to be out here. How the heck did I get up here? That looks awfully steep, and that looks steeper. I don't remember how I got up here now. Let's try over here. I think I can do this through here. You know, gravity is a fact of life. Whether you're going up or down, gravity is there. And sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't. But right now that view is outstanding. It's unfortunate that there's a burn scar there, but the land will repair itself eventually, and it'll be back to normal. I'll tell you what, getting out here early in the morning off trail, I've seen a statement online where it says the early to rise and the first one hiking is the one who gets the face full of cobwebs. And that is true, because I have gotten a lot of cobwebs in my face this morning just on this one little tiny hike to head to the bathroom. Let's see, maybe this way. Yeah, you gotta have good route finding skills, because this ground cover, as you can see, it's pretty rocky, and a lot of this stuff will shift when you step on it, so you have to be what I call sure-footed. So when you put your foot down, make sure it's not going to roll, because some of these boulders out here you step on can become an ankle twister, and you don't need a sprained ankle or a broken ankle when you're back in the wilderness here, because that makes getting out a lot more difficult. So okay, well, here we are, the river again. Camp is somewhere this direction, and I'm gonna head back there now, and like I said, get ready to go hiking. I know I'm already hiking, but this was just a bathroom hike. Now that's done, time to head back to get ready. Look at all these pretty dandelions everywhere. I love it. Dandelions, I don't know which way you say it. Dandy or Danda. Put it in the comments if you know. Dandelions? Dandelions. I think it's spelled dandy, isn't it? Not 100% certain, but getting in a bit of a swampy area here. Okay. All right, well, the time has come to say fair's fair, to pay the rent, to take our share. The time has come, and that's a fact. It belongs to them. We're going to give it back. That's deep words. Tell me if you know the name of the song and the artist. In the comments, please. Oop. Muddy and wet over here. Yikes. All right, found the trail. That should make matters a little easier. You know, I bet over here in the fall, all those aspen trees turn yellow. I bet that is really, really pretty. And man, the clouds are cooking across the sky there again. I just know I keep following this river. It'll lead me back to camp. All right, made it back to camp. You don't see it yet, but I do. Right up here in the trees. You can see my tarp up there. All right, time to get ready, get some water in me, and go get a nice hike in. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. I'm about 6 to 10 steps into it. Looking forward to it all. All right, folks, so yesterday we came down from that, but today we are going this direction instead. There's some signage over here. Let's see what it says.
We decided on a fun day hike.
We go Trail 250. That's pretty awesome. That's where we're heading. Nice little single track. It's about 60 degrees out. Perfect day so far. Wow.
A little while later, we discovered another campsite in the forest. This was yet another really sweet spot to camp for a day or even an entire week. We explored the forest nearby, and I felt a true connection to this place once again. My wild spirit was feeling alive and curious about what's next in this awesome wilderness.
It's big, whatever it is. Neat. That old dead log just has grass growing out of it. It's amazing.
We relaxed in the shade and had some lunch. I was having one of those moments where I felt truly thankful to be alive.
Alright folks, we're about 1.5 miles into our day hike. We're stopping here in the shade and taking a little break. But right back here behind our shade spot, there's a little waterfall, so we're going to go back there and check it out. What do you say? Let's go. Wow. Check that out.
As I sat there and caught my breath, I looked around in wonder and felt truly fortunate to be alive. What a great day.
Yeah, this looks like this stays on. You want to head back?
What's that? I don't know if this is a ladybug or not. It sure looks like one, but... All right, folks, that is half of our day hike right there. Probably gonna do about 3 miles today. Just a quick, simple up the canyon here. But it was totally worth doing a day hike and getting up here and moving around because the river up here and the waterfalls are outstanding. Really, really awesome. Now we're gonna head back to camp, get some lunch going. What do you say? Join us as we get some chow. Also, when we get back, not only are we gonna do some lunch, but first thing I'm gonna do is filter some water because I'm down to my last bottle and that one's almost empty. So, river, filter, water, here we come.
I wandered back down the hillside and took my time as I was really enjoying this spot. Peaceful place with a lot of quiet where you can really get inside your head and think. My thoughts were numerous, and my mind felt like this moment right now was possibly a nice dream, or at the very least a great memory in the making. This place was putting me in a great mood, and I felt like celebrating life again. What a great day.
All right, folks, on the map that we're using on our app, it shows that the Mora River has another river that dumps into it, and we actually found where it happens here, right here. You can see the two rivers connect together. That's pretty awesome. Alright, made it back to the intersection where our camp is located near, and just in time because there's starting to be some raindrops come down. So we may have to shelter up here in a little bit and see if the rain gets worse. Sorry. Alright. This is a classic single track trail in the wilderness. Love this type of stuff. You know, no car ever drove on this. This is just foot traffic, that's it. Alright, our camp is to the left up here. Right back in there. See Dave's orange tent there? Yeah, it's starting to rain. If we couldn't have timed this better, that's pretty awesome. All right, back to home, sweet home, New Mexico. Alright, got my water ready. We have to get some more later before it gets dark, but Definitely gonna have to filter some more in the morning when we hike out of here. But yeah, tired, but I feel good. It's a nice camping trip. It's nice, that creek water, when you first drink it, it's cold. It's refreshing. Keep hearing thunder there, huh?
Yep. Here's some general information about the Pecos Wilderness. First of all, a backcountry permit is not required to enter the Pecos Wilderness, but there are some restrictions. Camping and campfires are prohibited in the following areas: Beatty's Flats, Pecos Falls, within 50 feet of a trail, stream, or river, and within 200 feet of a lake. I wish to live like some of our ancestors did. Simple, plain, and with the earth, not against it. I only want to share good experiences with my family and friends and those I meet along the way. Not only that, but yeah.
All right, folks, this is probably not the most exciting video that I'm shooting today, but I'm in my tent. As you can see, there's a thunderstorm coming in. You can hear it off in the distance. It started raining a few minutes ago, so after we did our day hike of about 3 miles or so, we came back here, had lunch. Well, actually, I filtered water first, then I had lunch, and now I'm in my tent because it might rain, and it might rain intensely, so I'm gonna just lay in here and take a little nap. Sounds good to me.
All right, folks, laying down in the tent. The gentle rain coming outside. It's kind of nice. Thunder is off in the distance still. It hasn't really caught up with us yet, so I'm gonna nap out here for a little bit, and I'll check in with you guys here shortly. See ya. I was down in the tent for about a 3-hour nap. I must have really needed it because I was zonked out and I was gone. I heard some of the rain and some of the thunder, but for the most part, I was just crashed out and sleeping. Now I'm up. It's a little bit after 5. It's going to be time to get into some dinner and maybe another campfire experience, so stay tuned. Gonna start some dinner here, just a few minutes. Got my stove and everything out. Trusty food bag right here. Not sure what I'm gonna eat yet, but I'll decide that when I start taking stuff out. I just wanted to say something really quick, and that is nature, the wilderness in particular for me, it's very healing. It's like some of the best medicine you can get. At least for me personally, I'm not talking for everybody. When I get out here, and as tiring as this can be, I absolutely love it. Just to be out here in the woods, the sun coming and going, the rain coming and going, thunder, creek nearby, birds singing, flowers everywhere. It's just, yeah, it makes me smile just being out here and enjoying nature. So I'll drink to that. Here's some water from the creek, Nostrovia. Nice and cold. All right, the spot that I'm at right now, where I'm sitting on the log, and I've had a few talks with you guys, this is my view. Just wanted you to see that. It's really outstanding. Just woods, trees, tents, a few camping items. And then, of course, the fire pit is right here. Now, believe it or not, while I was taking my nap this afternoon, the sun was on that tent for a while, and it warmed it up in there really nicely. I had my thermometer in there, this little orange piece, and it said that tent got up to 70 while I was napping, which is really good sleeping weather. But out here it says it's 59 degrees currently, so that sounds about right. And A little breeze coming in, so that feels a little bit chilled because of being 59 degrees. But suspect that this will probably drop down tonight to 45-ish like it did last night. And then we'll sleep well in that kind of weather. Man, we're getting a nice bed of hot coals in there. It'd be a good night to make foil pack. Make it dehydrated food, which is fine, but this would be a good foil pack fire for sure. All right, good howdy, folks. Time for dinner. And today, I will be doing Mountain House Adventure Meal, home-style chicken noodle casserole. Now, I don't think I've tried this one before, so I'm curious about it. Just the description sounds yummy. So I'm gonna get my water boiling and I'll get this ready and I'll show you what it looks like when it's all done.
I sat down with my dinner and took a big sniff. It smelled absolutely delicious. This was going to be very filling, and I was glad I brought this for dinner.
Now we wait about 10 minutes and that food will be ready. So I'll show it to you here in just a little bit.
All right, it's been soaking in the hot water in the package for the recommended amount of time. What do you say we open it up and see what it looks like? Anyway, it looks really good and it smells yummy.
Here it is, dinner for the night. You know, when it looks good and smells good, you're pretty sure it's gonna taste good. We're gonna find out here in just a second. It's got a lot of good stuff in it here. It looks freaking awesome. Oops. I lost a noodle. Thumbs up. That one's really good. I think I'd do this one again.
Alright, I'm out wandering around to find some firewood. Dave contributed most of the firewood today, and I need to also contribute to that. So we're going to go find some logs. Lots of dead wood up here, as you can see. Alright, heading back in to camp. A little bit of firewood. Alright folks, the sun has set. You can see just a hint of it on the clouds still. It's starting to get dark out. And we are enjoying our day here. It's been absolutely beautiful. You can see it's just peaceful and quiet out here right now. And we think we might be the only ones down here. Because yesterday we saw another backpacker. He packed up and left this morning. And yesterday I saw one hiker early in the morning, like a day hiker, and then later in the day I saw two other hikers with a dog, and they were day hikers too. So we pretty much have this place to ourselves right now, which is really amazing when you think about it. Pretty awesome. Alright folks, it's really getting quiet out right now, although it's been quiet here all day, but it's just very peaceful, very calm. Thanks Dave for bringing me out here, and thanks to Matt the Southwest Backpacker for telling me about this place to begin with. Much appreciated, guys. That's a good looking fire. Rolo. Gonna see what happens when we put it in the hot chocolate. Well, it doesn't float, that's for sure. We'll have to see if it melts in there. But look at that nice steamy hot cup of hot cocoa ready to go.
All right, folks, the hot chocolate is made. Got a couple dark chocolate Rolos in there melting away. And I'm gonna have a sip right now. Hopefully it's not too hot. We'll let it cool for a few minutes, but still very hot, but very tasty. I love a good hot chocolate like this, especially with my new idea of melting Rolos in there. I may have to try this again at home.
And of course, what campfire experience wouldn't be complete without a little slow motion campfire?
Let's see if I can get any of this on camera.
This was our last night here. I was both happy and sad. However, the campfire is always cheerful and warm. We sat here for hours and really enjoyed our last evening. A little while later, we told ghost stories before eventually heading to our tents for some much needed sleep. This was yet another amazing day.
All right, folks, the fire is dying down. It's starting to get a little later in the day, so we're just kicking back, relaxing, enjoying this moment. It is a beautiful place, the Pecos Wilderness. Look up the Pecos Wilderness online if you get a chance and read up on it. It's very scenic and green, lots of plants, lots of trees, and a river nearby, right here in New Mexico. Alright, it's about 10:16 at night. It's still about 51 degrees out here, so it's really nice so far. I don't think we're going to get anything too intense as far as cold tonight. So we're probably going to dip down another 10 degrees. So we'll not get below freezing most likely. Alright, started raining again. So it wasn't cloudy there for a while. Then it clouded up. We didn't even notice until the rain started coming down on its own. Well, like all rain does, always come down on its own. Fire's just about done. Gonna wrap it up for the night and head to the tent. So there you go. One last look at the warmth of the fire. Even right now with only a little bit of wood on there, the hot coals feel really good. Ooh, there's a flash of lightning. So I better get my tent and hunker down in case it gets worse. I did hear some lightning off in the distance, or I didn't hear lightning. I heard thunder and I saw lightning. So it's not the other way around. You don't hear lightning and see thunder. There it is. Hear it? tent. Ooh, more thunder, lightning. Wow. Alright, well, let's get into the safety of my abode here. Hunker down for the night. Get into my comfies. And get some sleep. Yes, yes, yes. It's getting interesting back there. Winds are picking up. We're definitely in for a little storm here. That's okay. This tent has served me well over the years. I never had any problems with it, so we're going to head inside right now and get rested. Home sweet home. Ding 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 ding. So there you go. Head inside. Alright folks, it's officially raining. You can hear it on the tent. It's been thundering the last 10 minutes or so. Now the rain has begun. It's light. I don't think we're going to get something too crazy. And the forecast only calls for a 40% chance of rain until about midnight tonight, and it's supposed to clear up again. But it's all part of the adventure. Alright folks, I'm going to sign off here. But as usual, love, love, hate, hate. Take care of each other.
I like it a lot.
You're supposed to stir this up before you seal it. My spoon is put away, so give me a second. I'll take a minute. And not only that, but yeah. Yo, somebody. So stay tuned. Yeah. So we're gonna go back there and check it out. What do you say? Let's go. Oops. Okay, blooper. I bumped into that stick. So that's always a bonus because we'll get this going here in a little bit and it will feel amazing. Ding, like a ding dong. Let's see how that angle looks.
I've got to break free.
I want to break free. I want to break free.
I've got to break free. I've got to break free.
I'm enjoying it. So thanks, Dave, for bringing me out here. And thanks to Matt, the Southwest Pack. Thanks, Dave, for bringing me out here. Lighting is always an issue, especially when it's dark out like this.
You want some more light?
I think I got it, but thank you though. This one is doing the job, but I appreciate it. So, all right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Heading over to the tent. Flurgan dog. Well, that was a blooper and a half. Tripped over a log. Okay, anyway. Alright, good morning, folks. It's a little after 6 a.m. Slept pretty good last night, but it was really cold this morning, so with the help of the hot coals that were still there, I went ahead and got another fire started to warm up, because as you can tell up on the upper mountain up there, the sun is just starting to rise, and it dipped down last night, colder than predicted, of course, like usual. Here we go, 36 degrees currently. That's pretty chilly, but not below freezing, thankfully. So we did okay there, and now I'm just getting warmed by the campfire. All right, beautiful sunny morning, blue clear skies, sun's just peeking up on the top of the mountains, and it looks incredible.
The forest air was clean, and I breathed in the mountain freshness. I was feeling the beauty of this area take over my wild spirit. I felt the animal within start to awaken.
Alright, good howdy folks. Welcome back to another James Blackburn experience. What a great set of days we've had out here. Really awesome. But right now it's the last day and I'm having breakfast. Adventure meals with Mountain House here. Scrambled eggs with bacon. Now they do put a fair amount of bacon in here, but I like more bacon. So this morning I crisped up some bacon that I had that was pre-cooked. So good, crisped it up over the fire. That was really nice, so I'm going to add that to that meal. And we're going to have ourselves a good old breakfast here. Alright folks, scrambled eggs with bacon. This is what it looks like when it's all rehydrated. I probably added a little bit too much water. It said 1 cup. I think I put it a little bit more than that. That's okay. I'll eat all that and drink all that because it's food and it's liquids and I need both. So now we're going to do some chowing. Alright, which one did you have for the morning? Is that a freeze-dried thing too? So you just put cold water in that one? No hot water? Oh, cool. Nice, that sounds good too.
This was our last day here, and eventually we would get motivated to pack up our gear and start the long hike out to the trailhead.
Okay, first thing I like to do when I'm breaking down is I have a little ground tarp that goes under this tent that's made for it. What I'll do is I will pull that out and off to the side, and I'll use the tarp to put all my gear on while I get it organized, cleaned, and put into the proper baggage. So there you go. That's the all that stuff and the tent have to go into here. Doesn't seem possible sometimes, but it is.
All good things must come to an end, and this campsite was no exception. It was time to pack up the gear and move on to the adventures that today would undoubtedly yield. The sun rising in the sky was nice, and started to warm up the air around us. Shortly I would have all my gear packed up and ready to go. And I will say this, camping is a lot of work, but I wouldn't have it any other way. I absolutely love everything about camping, and plan to continue for years to come.
Alright folks, time to put the gear into the pack. That's a fairly boring thing, so I'm not going to show it, but just know that all that goes into all that. As you can see folks, I got a lot of it packed up, still a little bit left. Still got to wrap up the tent and the rain fly. The reason why I wait till the end on those is they always get wet when you're out here, especially when it rains a couple times. So you really need to let them air out, have them in the sun to dry out. So right now, over here is where my tarp is drying in the sun. Let's go check it and see if it's ready. The reason why it's important to dry these things is you don't want to pack them away and then forget about it when you get home and leave it in the bag. because the next time you go camping you'll have mildew on your tent, and that's pretty much kills the tent. So Dave's got his tent here out soaking up some sunshine as well, and over here are both of our tarps for our rain flies, also getting a lot of sunshine. So we're gonna go see if mine's dry yet. If it is, I'd like to pack it away. Dave will be back here for his in just a little bit. His is the orange one, mine's the gray and maroon over here. Looking pretty dry. You notice that I have it elevated off the grass a little bit, so it's get some air underneath and won't stay wet. So I think we're looking pretty good here. All right, folks, everything fitting there like it always does. Got the pack ready to go. Magic vest I'll put on in a minute, hat I'll put on in a minute, and then we'll be ready to head on to the trailhead in just a little while. Wow, what an amazing day, really is. All right, what can I say, folks? Absolutely amazing time down here. We're still here. We're going to be leaving in a few minutes, so we got a lot of hiking out to do and a lot of hiking up to do, but it's all part of the experience. I'm just very thankful and fortunate that I live in a state where I can go do stuff like this, a 2-hour drive from my house. It's absolutely blowing my mind, and every time I come out here, it never gets old. It just feels new, feels different. I mean, to be fair, this is a new and different place for me, but the experience also feels new and different, even though I backpacked a bunch of times. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to film a ton going out since we have to hike up quite a bit, but I'll get a few shots, and then I'll wrap up back at the trailhead. So appreciate it. Stay tuned. All right, folks, we're all packed up and ready to go. It was a great trip out here. I really enjoyed the entire thing. And now we're going to begin the journey out. So, as I always say, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Here goes the single step.
The early morning air felt good as we traversed the landscape together.
All right, folks, here's another one of those natural springs that we saw on the way in. Dave decided this was a good place to stop, take off the packs, get a little rest. I'm going to go up to that water and get some on my face and cool off, because that looks really refreshing. Oh man, that feels good. All right, folks, this was it's a good little break spot. The cold water feels so good, so refreshing.
We all took a nice long rest as well as had some snacks and water. Shortly we'd be ready to continue our journey back to civilization and our families as we continued to rest for the last hike out We all took in the beautiful views all around us. This had been an amazing trip. I was already planning out my next trip back here and I hadn't even left yet. But who knows? Maybe I'll be back sooner than later. I felt stronger this morning and had a good rhythm going as I hiked down the trail. I could feel my hiker legs coming alive in the early morning air. The hiking was rugged but rewarding. We continued onward as a team as the sun started to shine overhead. It was like I was in a dream that I never wanted to wake up from. I was still on the hike, but I was in the memory of the hike at the same time. What an unusual feeling. I couldn't help myself. I continued capturing video of everything. All around me was some beautiful landscape, and I wanted to take it all in while I was here. I love to capture nice moments and experiences, and then I have it documented and I can edit it down as a memory to share. This was a trip I would never forget.
All right, there you go. Iron Gate Campground, quarter mile. I'm going down that. Here's other trails in the area that you can explore, but this is the one I'm doing, which is right over here. Dave's already down ahead of me. Means we're probably 10 minutes from the trailhead in the vehicle, which is nice because I'm beat. It was a fun trip, but backpacking is tiring. It's a lot of work, especially when you're going to film a bunch of it. It's like twice the work. But I'm not complaining, just stating a fact. If you asked me to do it all over again, I'd say absolutely yes. When can we do it? Because this was a great trip. Really, really was. All right, made it out of the wilderness and back to the trailhead. Well, not quite to the trailhead yet, but I'm really, really close. Great experience, folks. I recommend coming out here for backpacking or for potentially just a day hike. It's a beautiful place. All right, now we're getting close. One last look at the sign. It says Pecos Wilderness Santa Fe National Forest. We did it. We made it back.
Thank you, sir.
All right, folks, back in the parking lot. Dave's truck. We did the hike out in about 2.5 hours, so it wasn't too bad. I'll check the mileage here in just a second, but all right, so the Garmin says 3.9 miles is what we hiked today. We thought it was closer to 3.5, but maybe it is closer to 4. But hey, we did it, 2.5 hours. What a great trip.
All right, folks, what can I say? That was a wonderful trip. Super relaxing, beautiful, birds, river. We got some rain, we had some warm sun throughout the days. I just can't complain, it was absolutely perfect. So we're gonna sign off here and wrap up the video after being out here for 4 days and say my usual, love, love, hate, hate. Take care of each other.
Yep. Zip. Boom. Haha.
Back out.
Appreciate it. Stay tuned. I'll be back.
You think this is drinkable up here? At the top?
Yeah, I would think so. Coming out of the ground there.
Yeah. Nobody's peed in it yet.
Yashkun papi.
Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Remember, folks, life is beautiful if you know where to look. Keep your eyes, your heart, and your mind open. It just might lead you somewhere special.
Thank you for watching the James Blackburn Experience. Please check out my channel for over 1,000 additional video adventures.